Too many people are stuck in a cycle of comfort, and it's quietly killing their ambition. You've probably heard this before: success doesn't come from comfort. But let's take a closer look at that. The truth is, comfort feels good, but it doesn't build anything worthwhile. It doesn't make you stronger, smarter, or more capable. All it does is keep you in the same place. There's a powerful truth we need to face. You can't be ambitious and addicted to comfort at the same time. It's like trying to move forward while holding on to the past. You can't make progress if you're constantly choosing what's easy over what's necessary. But here's the catch. Comfort doesn't look like a villain. It's sneaky. It shows up as that extra hour in bed, that extra episode on Netflix, that extra meal you didn't really need. And slowly, day by day, it drains the ambition you once had. The most successful people didn't get to where they are by avoiding discomfort. They got there by embracing it. They used every challenge, every setback, every uncomfortable moment to fuel their growth. So, if you're tired of feeling stuck, tired of watching others reach their goals while you're still standing still, this is the wake-up call you've been waiting for. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to break free from the grip of comfort and start building the kind of life you're capable of. A life full of purpose, growth, and true success. Stick around, because your breakthrough is just ahead. Number 1, when comfort becomes your routine, ambition turns into a memory. You know what really holds people back? It's not always fear, it's not always failure. A lot of the time it's comfort. That silent little trap that feels good in the moment, but slowly takes everything sharp and powerful out of you. People think ambition dies because of big mistakes or major setbacks. But most of the time, it disappears in small, unnoticed ways. It fades every time you choose the easy way out. Every time you say, "I'll do it tomorrow." Every time you accept less than what you know you're capable of. That's when ambition doesn't just take a break, it turns into a memory. And the worst part, you don't even realize it's happening. We're living in a world that rewards comfort. Everything's made easier. Food delivered in minutes, entertainment on every screen. You can go days without leaving your house, without being challenged, without being stretched. But what does that really do to a person? It softens you. It lowers your standard. It convinces you that average is okay, that as long as nothing's wrong, then everything's fine. But that's a lie. Just because life feels peaceful doesn't mean you're growing. And if you're not growing, you're slowly letting your ambition go quiet. See, ambition doesn't scream at you. It whispers. It tells you, hey, you can do more. It nudges you to get up a little earlier, to push a little harder, to expect more from yourself. But if you don't listen to it, if you keep hitting snooze on your goals, eventually that voice fades. And when it fades long enough, you stop remembering what it even felt like to want more. You start saying things like, "I'm just tired," or "this is enough." Not because it really is, but because you've made comfort a habit. And once something becomes a habit, it starts to shape your identity. People don't wake up one day and suddenly lose their ambition. It happens slowly, step by step. You stop trying new things. You avoid difficult conversations. You play it safe, and you stop aiming high. That's when comfort becomes your routine. And when that happens, your ambition doesn't just take a back seat. It becomes a distant memory. You might still talk about your dreams. You might still remember the goals you had when you were younger, but you're not acting on them. And if you're not acting on them, then they don't exist in your reality. They only exist in your memory. And you know what makes this so dangerous? It feels normal. You get used to the routine. You wake up, go through the day, come back home, and do it all over again. No risk, no push, no change. It's comfortable. But inside, there's a quiet frustration. You feel restless. You feel like you're supposed to be doing more, becoming more. That's your ambition trying to come back. But the longer you ignore it, the harder it gets to hear. Now here's the truth. You can't get your ambition back by staying in your comfort zone. You've got to interrupt the pattern. You've got to shake up your routine. That means doing the things you've been avoiding. It means getting uncomfortable on purpose, not because you like the discomfort, but because you want what's on the other side of it. Growth doesn't show up when you're relaxed. It shows up when you're stretched, when you're disciplined, when you're doing what most people won't. You want to know what builds real ambition? Showing up for yourself even when it's hard. Doing what needs to be done even when no one's watching. That's what makes the fire grow again. That's what brings your drive back to life. And the best part is, it doesn't take some giant leap. It starts with one small decision, one shift, one action that tells your mind, we're not settling anymore. Maybe that means waking up an hour earlier and getting focused before the world distracts you. Maybe it means finally facing that fear you've been running from. Maybe it means saying no to something that's easy but not helping you grow. Whatever it is, the moment you start trading comfort for discipline, everything changes. Not just what you achieve, but how you see yourself. Because deep down, we don't feel proud when life is easy. We feel proud when we've earned something, when we've overcome something, when we've grown through effort. So if you've been feeling stuck, if you've been coasting, if you've been waking up without that spark you used to have, don't ignore that. That's not life being unfair. That's life giving you a signal. It's telling you, wake up. Your ambition needs you. And no matter how long it's been quiet, it's still in there. You just have to stop feeding comfort and start feeding the part of you that wants more. You were not made to go through life on autopilot. You were not made to watch others grow while you stay still. You were made to pursue something that matters. You were made to build, to improve, to stretch your potential. And that doesn't happen when comfort runs the show. It happens when you decide that good enough is no longer good enough. It happens when you look at your life and say, this might be easy, but it's not making me proud. You want a life that excites you? Start doing things that scare you a little. You want results that make people ask how you did it? Start building habits that most people aren't willing to keep. It's not talent that separates the ambitious from the average. It's consistency. It's the daily decision to rise instead of rest, to move instead of settle, to choose discipline over delay. If you really want it, if you really care about living up to your full potential, then comfort can't be the goal anymore. Growth has to be the goal. Strength has to be the goal. Becoming better has to be the goal. Not just sometimes, but every day. Because the people who keep their ambition alive, they don't wait until they feel like it. They don't wait for the right time. They don't wait for life to push them. They push themselves every single day. And so can you. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need everything to be perfect. You just need to stop letting comfort run your life. Because when comfort becomes your routine, ambition becomes a memory. But when discipline becomes your routine, ambition turns into action. And that's how real change happens. So ask yourself right now, what have I been avoiding? What hard thing have I been putting off because comfort felt safer? And more importantly, what could my life look like 6 months from now if I started today? Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for motivation. Decide now. The old routine ends here. The real work begins. And your ambition? It's ready to come alive again. Number 2, the comfort zone protects your ego but weakens your character. Comfort. It's that warm, familiar feeling, the place where you feel safe, secure, and in control. We all know it. It's the couch at the end of a long day, the easy choice when things get tough, and the temptation that's always just around the corner. The comfort zone is like that old pair of shoes you've had for years. They might not be the best fit anymore, but they're comfortable. You know them. You trust them. And the longer you stay in them, the harder it is to imagine anything else. But here's the reality. That comfort zone, that place where everything feels good, is also the place where growth stops. Let's talk about what comfort really does to us. It's not just about relaxation or taking a break after a long day. That's healthy, everyone needs rest. But when we let comfort become a constant, when we allow it to shape our daily routine, that's where things get tricky. Comfort starts off by protecting your ego. It tells you you're okay just as you are. It makes you feel safe, like you've got everything figured out. But here's the truth. Comfort doesn't make you better. It keeps you from becoming more than you are right now. It weakens your character because it prevents you from stepping into the unknown, from trying new things, from pushing yourself. The comfort zone is like a cushion for your ego. It's easy. It doesn't challenge you. It doesn't force you to grow, to stretch, or to face anything that might make you feel uncomfortable. The more you stay there, the more it convinces you that you're doing fine, that you don't need to change anything, that you don't need to take any risks. But deep down, you know you're not truly growing. You're just staying the same. And while your ego might love that because it feels good and safe, your character starts to deteriorate because you're not testing your limits. You're not expanding your potential. You're not becoming stronger. See, your ego doesn't want to be challenged. It wants to stay comfortable. It wants to avoid discomfort because it feels threatened by it. It wants to believe that everything is fine, that everything is under control. And in the short term, it works. But long term, and that's when it starts to show. When you consistently choose comfort, you rob yourself of the chance to develop real strength, resilience, and character. You begin to live in a bubble that feels good, but doesn't allow you to grow. Now let's talk about what happens when you step out of your comfort zone. It's not easy, and it's not supposed to be. Growth never happens in easy situations, but when you choose to step out and challenge yourself, that's where the magic happens. You start developing new skills, you start building mental toughness, you start proving to yourself that you can handle more than you thought. And over time, that will do more for your character than any amount of comfort ever could. We all want to be comfortable, there's no denying that. But comfort is a trap. It's the place where your potential goes to die. It doesn't force you to think differently or to push yourself beyond your limits. It lets you settle into a routine, into a life where you're not striving for anything more. You might think you're protecting your ego, but all you're really doing is avoiding the work that would help you become the person you were meant to be. When you stay in your comfort zone, you stay small. You stay stuck. You stay in a place where you're not really achieving anything meaningful. And that's not what you were put on this earth to do. You weren't meant to just coast through life, to let each day blend into the next, to settle for the minimum. You were meant for greatness. You were meant to push yourself, to evolve, to grow, to take risks, to fail, to get back up, and to keep moving forward. But none of that happens if you keep running back to your comfort zone every time things get hard. The truth is, your ego doesn't want you to face failure. It doesn't want you to experience discomfort. It wants to keep you safe. But safety is the enemy of progress. Because in order to get to the next level, you have to be willing to do things that make you uncomfortable. You have to be willing to take risks that might not work out. You have to be willing to fail. And each time you step out of your comfort zone, you build more resilience, you build more strength, you build a character that can withstand whatever life throws at you. Think about the people who you admire, the ones who've achieved great things. Do you think they got there by staying comfortable? Of course not. They got there by constantly challenging themselves, by stepping into discomfort, by facing fear and doing it anyway. And that's what made them who they are today. They didn't protect their ego. They let their character develop through hard work, through failure, and through growth comfort. doesn't let you see what you're truly capable of. It keeps you in a small, limited version of yourself. It doesn't allow you to push past your boundaries, to break through your limitations, or to become the best version of yourself. Your character can only grow when you're forced to step into the unknown, when you're forced to face challenges, when you're forced to keep going, even when it feels uncomfortable. That's where the real growth happens. It's time to stop choosing comfort over progress. It's time to stop protecting your ego and start building your character. It's time to step out, to face the challenges that scare you, to push through the discomfort, and to prove to yourself that you are capable of so much more than you think. Because when you do that, you'll realize that the true strength you're looking for isn't in avoiding discomfort. It's in embracing it. The next time you feel yourself retreating back into your comfort zone, remember this: you're not protecting your ego, you're weakening your character. And if you want to be the best version of yourself, you have to be willing to step out, to face the challenges, and to grow beyond what you thought was possible. Because that's where real success lives, not in the comfort zone, but in the discomfort, the struggle, and the willingness to do what others won't. So don't let your ego keep you small. Step out, stretch yourself, and watch your character grow into the person you were always meant to be. Number 3, every comfort-based decision steals time from your ambition. Every decision you make today, no matter how small it seems, is shaping the future. The decisions you make when you choose comfort over action, when you decide to take the easy route instead of the path that challenges you, are costing you more than you realize. It's easy to think that taking it easy, relaxing, or choosing what's comfortable doesn't have any consequences. It feels harmless in the moment. But over time, every choice you make that avoids discomfort, that keeps you in your comfort zone, is taking time away from your ambition and your potential. Let's talk about time. Time is the one thing we can't get back. You can make more money, you can buy new things, you can improve in many areas of life, but time is gone the moment it passes. Once a minute is gone, it's gone for good. And when you make decisions based on comfort, you're not just wasting that minute, you're stealing it from your future. You're giving away the time that could be spent building something great, working on your goals and pushing yourself to achieve the things you dream about. It's easy to slip into a routine. You get up, go through the motions, do what's expected of you, and then relax. There's always something in the back of your mind telling you it's okay to take a break, to rest a little longer, to skip that workout, to skip working on your goals for just one more day. But every time you do that, you're sacrificing progress. You're telling your ambition, not today. And every time you say not today, it gets harder to say yes tomorrow. The longer you stay in that cycle, the further you get from the life you really want. And it's not just a day you're losing, it's your future. When you're comfortable, you're not growing. Comfort is the enemy of progress. Comfort is the thing that holds you back from the next level. And let's be clear, it doesn't matter how good your life looks on the surface. You can have a nice house, a decent job, friends and family who care about you. But if you're not moving forward, if you're not actively pursuing your dreams, you're stuck. Comfort keeps you in the same place. It tells you that what you have is enough, that there's no need to work harder, no need to do more. But if you want more out of life, if you want to reach your full potential, you can't let comfort control your decisions. Every time you choose comfort over your goals, you're taking a step back. You're not moving forward. You're not growing. And while it might feel good in the short term, that feeling won't last. Comfort may give you instant gratification, but it won't give you the satisfaction of achieving something meaningful. And it won't give you the sense of pride that comes with reaching for something bigger than what you've ever done before. Think about the times you've pushed yourself, the moments when you decided to go for it, to take action even though it wasn't easy, Those are the moments that changed you. Those are the moments that get you closer to your goals. But every time you choose comfort, you delay those moments. You put them off. You allow the easy choice to take over. And you push your ambition further into the background. It's so tempting to let comfort take the lead. When things feel hard, when the road gets tough, comfort is like a safety net. It's the thing that says, it's okay, you don't have to do this now. Take a break, you've earned it. But the truth is, the more you listen to that voice, the weaker your ambition becomes. And eventually that ambition fades. It becomes a distant memory, something you once cared about but stopped pursuing because comfort felt better. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. No one has more time than anyone else. The difference is how we use that time. It's not about working nonstop or never taking a break. It's about making sure that the time you spend in comfort doesn't steal from the time you need to build something important. It's about making sure that you're using your time in a way that moves you closer to the person you want to become, not further away from it. Every decision to skip working on your goals, to sleep in, to relax instead of working on your passion, to settle for less than what you truly want, is stealing from your future. And that's time you'll never get back. You can't afford to let comfort take that time away from you. You can't afford to let the easy choice steal your ambition. Because when you do, you're not just losing the time you could have spent working on your goals today, you're losing the future you could have had tomorrow. You might be thinking it's just one day, it's just one small decision, but those small decisions add up. One day turns into 1 week. 1 week into 1 month, and before you know it, a year has passed. A year spent in the same place, with the same habits, the same level of ambition, and that's a year you'll never get back. That's a year of your life you'll never be able to reclaim. Every time you choose comfort, you're putting off the person you want to become. And one day, you'll look back and wonder where the time went. You'll wonder how you ended up in the same spot, still wishing for more, still waiting for the right moment. But the right moment is now. Every decision you make today counts. Every small action you take toward your goals counts. Every time you choose ambition over comfort, you're investing in a future that you can be proud of. Don't let comfort fool you into thinking you're doing okay. Don't let it trick you into believing that just getting by is enough. You were made for more than that. You were made to do great things, to reach higher, to push through challenges, to make something of yourself. It's not going to be easy. Growth never is. But every minute you spend choosing your ambition over comfort is a minute you've invested in yourself. It's a minute that brings you closer to the person you were meant to be. And that's a decision that will always pay off. So stop letting comfort steal your time. Stop putting off your dreams for another day. Your future is counting on the decisions you make right now. Make them count. Number 4, you were made to improve, not just exist. You weren't born just to get by. You weren't put on this earth simply to exist, to go through the motions, to just be another face in the crowd. You were made for something more, something greater than you've allowed yourself to experience. The truth is, we all have a deeper potential that lies just beneath the surface, waiting for us to wake up to it. The question isn't whether you can achieve more. It's whether you're willing to put in the work to improve, to become the person you're capable of becoming. Every single day, we are presented with opportunities to grow. We get to decide whether to move forward or stay in the same place. Yet so many people settle for the comfort of simply existing. They go through life letting the days slip by, thinking that this is as good as it gets. And here's the thing, it doesn't have to be like that. You can choose to live with purpose, to push past your limits, to grow in ways you never thought possible. Imagine for a moment that your potential is like a seed buried deep inside of you. It's there, waiting for the right conditions to sprout and grow. But what happens if you don't water it? What happens if you don't nurture it? What happens if you don't make the choice every day to invest in your growth? It stays buried, dormant. And that's how a lot of people live their lives. Stagnant, unfulfilled, unsure of what could be. They live as if their potential is something they have no control over, when in reality they hold the key to unlocking it every day. The world we live in often pushes us to be passive. We're told to stay in line, to follow the rules, to fit into a box that society has built for us. But the people who achieve greatness, the people who truly change the world, are the ones who decide to break free of the status quo. And they don't accept mediocrity. They don't settle for simply existing. They strive to improve every single day. They push their limits, step outside their comfort zones, and commit to making progress, even when it's hard. That's the difference between living a life of purpose and living a life of quiet desperation. When you're just existing, you let life happen to you. You react instead of acting. You let your circumstances dictate your outcome, instead of taking control of your own destiny. You wake up in the morning and think, well, here we go again. And you go through the motions because it's easier than trying to change, easier than stepping outside your comfort zone. But that's not how you were designed. You were made to improve. You were made to strive for more, to be more, to do more. Every day you let pass without striving for growth, you are allowing yourself to settle for less than what you're capable of. You were born with the potential to achieve far more than you think. Your mind is more powerful than you give it credit for, and your ability to learn, to grow, and to adapt is limitless. But here's the catch. None of it matters unless you make the decision to show up, to put in the effort, to grow. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It requires focus, discipline, and a relentless commitment to becoming better every day. Imagine what it would feel like if you didn't just exist, but instead pushed yourself to grow, to improve, to constantly better yourself. It would feel like you're living with a sense of purpose, wouldn't it? Every day would feel like an opportunity to get closer to who you're meant to be. And here's the thing. You are capable of that. The difference between the person you are today and the person you want to become is the decision to improve. The problem with settling for existence is that it becomes a cycle. One day you wake up and realize that years have passed and you've made no progress. You've let life slip by because you were afraid of stepping out of your comfort zone. But here's the truth. Comfort doesn't lead to growth. Comfort doesn't lead to greatness. It leads to stagnation. It leads to regret. It leads to a life of what ifs. And when you're living in that space, it's easy to start thinking that improvement is just for other people, that it's too late for you, that you've missed your chance. But that's a lie. It's never too late to start. It's never too late to choose improvement over complacency. You always have the power to change, to grow, to improve. Every successful person has faced the same fears, doubts, and challenges you face. They've all been at a crossroads where they could have settled, where they could have said, I'm fine where I am, it's good enough. But they chose something different. They chose to push themselves beyond what they thought was possible. They chose to keep improving even when it was difficult, even when it seemed like progress was slow. And now look at them. They didn't become who they are by settling for mediocrity. They became who they are by deciding to grow, to improve, and to never stop becoming the best version of themselves. You are no different. You are capable of the same transformation, but it starts with the decision to improve. It starts with the commitment to stop accepting where you are and to start moving toward where you want to be. It starts with the understanding that you are not here just to exist, but to grow, to evolve, and to become someone who makes an impact on the world. And that starts today, right now. Your journey of improvement begins the moment you decide that you won't settle for just existing anymore. Every day is an opportunity to get better, to learn something new, to stretch your limits, to break free from the cycle of complacency. And when you start making that choice every day, when you start improving yourself little by little, you'll look back one day and realize that you've become the person you always wanted to be. But that won't happen by accident. It won't happen by wishing for it. It happens by taking consistent action toward improvement. It happens by pushing yourself to do more, to be more, to learn more. The more you improve, the more you'll realize that this is what you were made for. You were made to do more than just exist. You were made to improve, and the time to start is now. Number 5. If you don't challenge yourself, life eventually will. If you don't challenge yourself, life will find a way to do it for you. You might think that things will stay comfortable, that you can take it easy for a while, that you've earned a break. But the truth is, comfort is a dangerous thing. It's a slow, quiet killer of potential. If you don't challenge yourself, life will find a way to throw challenges your way, and you may not be prepared for them. The universe doesn't wait for you to be ready. It doesn't ask if you're prepared to handle difficulties. Life just happens. The question is, when it does, will you be strong enough to face it? We all have moments where we're tempted to settle into comfort. Maybe things are going fine, not perfect, but good enough. Maybe you've been working hard for a while and think it's time to rest, time to take a step back, but let me tell you, there's no such thing as standing still. Life doesn't let you rest for long. If you don't choose to challenge yourself, the world around you will create challenges that will force you to grow. And often these challenges are harder to face than the ones you could have chosen yourself. Think about the people who are truly successful in any field. They aren't just coasting through life, waiting for opportunities to come to them. No, they are out there seeking challenges, seeking discomfort, pushing themselves beyond what they think they can handle. They understand that growth comes from discomfort. Growth comes from the things that make us uncomfortable. And that's something we often try to avoid. But avoiding discomfort doesn't make life easier, it just delays the inevitable. The longer you put off challenging yourself, the harder life will become when those challenges find you. When you actively challenge yourself, you're building the muscle needed to handle life's tougher moments. You're strengthening your resolve, your patience, your ability to navigate obstacles. And when life inevitably throws you those curveballs, you'll be better equipped to face them head on. The difference between someone who thrives in tough times and someone who falters is how much they've challenged themselves when things were calm. The more you test your limits, the more you train your mind, the better prepared you'll be when life hits hard. There's a danger in playing it safe, in staying in your comfort zone. It can feel like the right thing to do in the moment. Why put yourself through hardship when you can just take the easy route? But the easy route doesn't take you anywhere significant. It doesn't lead to growth, and it doesn't build resilience. It leads to stagnation. And stagnation is the death of progress. If you are challenging yourself every single day, you're slowly falling behind. While you're sitting still, others are moving forward, growing, and becoming better versions of themselves. And when life hits, the ones who've been pushing their limits will be the ones who are ready to face whatever comes next. It's easy to look at someone who is succeeding and think they must have it easy. We often assume that success comes without effort, but the truth is, those who succeed are often the ones who've been pushing themselves to their limits for years. They've faced challenges that seemed impossible at the time. They've been knocked down, but they've gotten up, each time stronger than before. They didn't wait for life to throw challenges at them. They went out and sought them. They knew that only by pushing themselves could they ever get to where they wanted to be. If you want to grow, if you want to be better, if you want to become the kind of person who thrives in any situation, you have to embrace challenges. You have to be willing to step out of your comfort zone and face the unknown. It's in those moments, when you're uncertain and unsure of yourself, that real growth happens. Every time you push past your limits, you're expanding what you thought was possible for yourself. You're building a new version of yourself, one that can handle more, do more, and achieve more. And let's not forget about the fear that comes with stepping out of your comfort zone. It's normal to be afraid. Fear is a natural response to the unknown, to challenges, to change. But here's the thing, fear isn't a sign that you shouldn't do something. It's often a sign that you're on the right track. If you're feeling scared, it means you're doing something that's pushing you, something that's going to make you grow. It's only when you face that fear and move forward anyway that you start to build the courage and resilience you need to keep going. Every time you challenge yourself, you're proving to yourself that you're capable of more. You're proving that you're not just sitting on the sidelines waiting for life to happen to you. You're actively creating the life you want. And that takes courage, that takes effort, and that takes action. The challenges you face today will be the stories of strength and perseverance that you tell tomorrow. They'll be the foundation of your success. And the more you challenge yourself, the easier it gets. The more you build your confidence, the more you develop the skills and mindset needed to tackle whatever life throws your way. So don't wait for life to come knocking at your door with challenges that you're unprepared for. Don't wait for the world to force you into uncomfortable situations. Take control of your growth. Challenge yourself every day, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when it feels difficult. Because when you do, you'll be building a life that you're proud of. You'll be building a version of yourself that can handle anything. And when life does come at you with its challenges, you'll be ready. You'll be stronger, more resilient, and more capable than you ever thought possible. The bottom line is this: you have the power to shape your future, but only if you're willing to face the challenges today. Don't let life take control of your growth. You have the ability to take the reins and create the life you want. But that only happens when you choose to challenge yourself, when you step out of your comfort zone, when you embrace the struggle, when you push yourself to grow. That's when the magic happens. So go out there and start challenging yourself today, because the person you become tomorrow depends on the choices you make right now. Number 6, let small wins pull you out of the comfort zone. We all know how easy it is to stay stuck in the comfort zone. It feels safe, doesn't it? The comfort zone is familiar, it's predictable, and it's comfortable. But here's the thing, growth doesn't happen there. Nothing spectacular comes from staying exactly where you are. And yet when you look around, you see people who are living in that very zone, day after day, never pushing themselves, never testing their limits. They wonder why things aren't changing. The truth is, things won't change until you step out of that comfortable space. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. I'm not ready for a huge leap. I don't have the energy or resources to make some big, drastic change in my life. Well, that's okay. You don't need to make a giant leap right now. In fact, the best way to start is with small wins. It's those small victories that can but surely pull you out of your comfort zone and get you moving towards something bigger. The trick is learning how to use those small wins to create momentum every single day. There are opportunities for small wins. They're not always obvious, but they're there. It might be as simple as getting out of bed a little earlier than usual, or completing a task you've been procrastinating on, or even starting that new project you've been thinking about for weeks. The key is that these small wins add up. They create a snowball effect that can carry you to bigger and bigger successes. And each time you experience a small win, you build confidence. That confidence becomes the fuel you need to step out of your comfort zone again and again and again. Over time, those small wins start to feel bigger. They feel like major accomplishments. And that's exactly what they are. What happens when you get one small win? Well, first you feel a sense of pride. It's the satisfaction of having done something, anything, that moved you forward. And that feeling is powerful. It makes you realize that you're capable of more than you thought. Then there's the momentum that comes with it. When you win, even in small ways, it gives you the energy to keep going. It creates a mindset shift, and the next challenge doesn't seem as intimidating. What you thought was hard before doesn't seem so tough anymore. You start to look for more ways to win because you've experienced the payoff, the feeling of progress. The beauty of small wins is that they're accessible. They're not out of reach. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment or for everything to align perfectly in your life. Small wins are about showing up, taking action, and being consistent. It's about making the choice to do something, no matter how small, that moves you forward. And it's in those moments, those small moments of action, that the magic happens. You don't need to wait for a life-altering event to make things change. All you need is the courage to take one small step. And once you start taking those small steps, you'll begin to notice something else. Your comfort zone starts to shift. As you take on more challenges and win, the things that once felt scary or intimidating begin to feel more manageable. The things that made you hesitate before no longer have the same power over you. You're expanding your comfort zone, and what was once unfamiliar territory becomes a new normal. With each small win, you're transforming yourself into someone who embraces challenges, someone who actively looks for ways to grow, someone who is constantly striving for more. The power of small wins is that they make the bigger goals feel achievable. It's easy to look at something large and feel overwhelmed by the sheer size of it. But when you break it down into smaller, more manageable tasks, suddenly the goal doesn't seem so impossible. You begin to realize that, just like the small wins you've experienced before, the big goal can be accomplished in the same way, one small step at a time. But there's something else to remember when it comes to small wins. It's not just about the task at hand or the feeling of accomplishment. It's about creating a mindset shift. Each time you win, you reinforce a belief in yourself. You remind yourself that you are capable. You prove to yourself that you can face challenges, overcome obstacles, and succeed. You teach yourself that success doesn't require perfection or immediate results. Success is about persistence, consistency, and the willingness to keep going, even when things don't go as planned. Another thing about small wins is that they help you build momentum. Momentum is powerful. Once you get the ball rolling, it's much easier to keep it moving. Think about a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's small, but as it rolls, it picks up more and more snow, getting bigger and faster. Your small wins act the same way. They build upon each other, creating momentum that pushes you forward. The more you win, the more you want to keep winning. And the more you keep winning, the further out of your comfort zone you'll go. But here's where most people get stuck. They expect immediate, massive results. They think that a small win isn't enough, that it doesn't matter. But small wins are everything. They are the building blocks of success. Without those little victories, you'll never get to the bigger ones. Each small win is proof that you are on the right path, that you are moving forward, that you are capable. And when you look back, you'll see how far you've come, not just in the big wins, but in the small, consistent steps you took along the way. The truth is, there is no perfect moment to step out of your comfort zone. There's no magical time when you'll feel fully ready or completely confident. But what you can do is make the decision to start. You can make the decision to find small wins every day, to look for opportunities to challenge yourself, even in the smallest of ways. The more you do this, the more you'll realize that the fear and hesitation you once felt was just an illusion. With each win, you'll break through those barriers. And with each small win, you'll be closer to achieving something much bigger than you ever imagined. Small wins have the power to change everything. They don't just push you out of your comfort zone, they pull you. They give you the motivation and confidence to keep moving forward, to keep taking action, and to keep growing. So embrace them, look for them, celebrate them, because those small wins will take you farther than you ever thought possible. And they'll keep you moving toward the life you want to create. Number 7. The road to success is built on discipline, not comfort. The road to success is not paved with comfort, but with discipline. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that success will come effortlessly, or that if you just wait long enough, things will fall into place. But let's face it, that's not how it works. Success requires a commitment, a consistent drive, and a level of discipline that goes beyond what most people are willing to put in. It requires doing the things you don't always feel like doing, sticking with it even when it's hard, and continuing on the path when everything inside of you is telling you to stop. If you truly want to succeed, you have to be willing to embrace the grind and work through the discomfort. When we talk about discipline, we're not talking about the kind of discipline that's forced or externally imposed. We're talking about the kind of discipline that comes from within. Discipline that is born out of a desire to grow, to achieve, and to make progress. This kind of discipline doesn't come easy. It's not about doing something for a day, a week, or even a month. It's about making a choice every single day to stay on course, no matter what distractions or setbacks come your way. It's about committing to the process, not the outcome. The reality is, most people want success, but not enough to make the sacrifices that are required. The truth is, we all love comfort. We all enjoy the feeling of relaxation, the freedom to do whatever we want, whenever we want. But the problem with comfort is that it breeds complacency. It makes you settle for less. It makes you want to take the easy way out. And success is never found on the easy path. The road to success is built on doing what's uncomfortable, on choosing what's hard over what's easy, and on pushing through the resistance that comes when you try to level up. Think about it. How many times have you set a goal for yourself, only to find that the first sign of difficulty made you want to quit? How many times have you planned to wake up early to work out, only to hit the snooze button because your bed felt too comfortable? How many times have you set a deadline for a project, but procrastinated because starting it felt like too much work? These are the moments when discipline is needed the most. It's in these moments that success is truly decided. Success isn't just about doing the things you like. It's about doing the things you don't want to do, but know will move you forward. Discipline is the ability to say no to short-term comfort for the sake of long-term success. It's about choosing to make the tough decisions that will pay off in the future, rather than opting for the instant gratification that's so easy to give into. Whether it's in your personal life, your career, or your health, success is built on the small, disciplined choices you make every day. These choices may seem insignificant at first, but they compound over time. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're laying a brick in the foundation of your future success. It's not always about making huge leaps or taking dramatic action. Sometimes success is about the small, consistent things, the daily habits that seem small in the moment, but add up over time, the times you show up, even when you don't feel like it. The moments when you push through your resistance and keep going, even though it would be so much easier to stop. That's what discipline's all about. It's about showing up day after day, even when you don't feel like it. It's about making those small choices that move you closer to your goal, even when they're uncomfortable or inconvenient. The great thing about discipline is that it becomes easier the more you practice it. At first, it may feel like a battle. It may feel like you're constantly fighting against your own desires to take the easy way out. But over time, discipline becomes a habit. It becomes a part of who you are, and once you've built that habit, it becomes second nature. You don't have to think twice about choosing discipline over comfort, because you've trained yourself to do it automatically. And that's when the magic happens. When discipline becomes a habit, you don't have to rely on willpower anymore. You've conditioned yourself to do the right thing even when it's difficult. And here's the secret. Discipline creates momentum. When you make a habit of doing the hard things, you start to build momentum in your life. That momentum carries you forward even when you face challenges or setbacks. You become unstoppable. The more you practice discipline, the more you develop the mental toughness to push through any obstacle. And with that mental toughness comes confidence. You start to believe in yourself. You start to trust that no matter what comes your way, you have the strength and the discipline to handle it. That's what separates the people who achieve success from those who don't. It's the ability to keep going even when the road gets tough. Comfort doesn't build success, it builds stagnation. It keeps you stuck where you are, in the same place, with the same mindset and the same habits. Success is built on the willingness to step outside of that comfort zone, to do the things that are difficult, to push yourself beyond your limits. The successful person isn't the one who avoids the hard work. They're the ones who dive in head first, no matter how challenging it may seem. They understand that success requires sacrifice, it requires discomfort, and it requires discipline. Discipline isn't just about forcing yourself to work hard. It's about choosing to do what's right for your future, even if it's not what you feel like doing in the moment. It's about doing the things you know will lead to long-term growth, even if they're hard in the short term. When you embrace discipline, you embrace your own potential. You take control of your future and you make the decisions that will get you where you want to go. No one can do this for you. It's your responsibility to stay disciplined, to make those tough choices, and to keep pushing yourself even when it feels uncomfortable. Because at the end of the day, it's the disciplined actions you take that will determine the course of your life. So, if you want to succeed, stop looking for comfort. Stop waiting for the right moment. Stop hoping that success will come without any effort. Success is built on discipline, not comfort. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you'll start to see real progress in your life. Every choice you make counts. Every action you take either moves you closer to your goal or takes you further away from it. The road to success is built on the small, consistent decisions you make every day to choose discipline over comfort. And those decisions will take you farther than you ever imagined. Number 8, people don't lose their ambition overnight. It dies from repeated comfort-based choices. Ambition isn't something that vanishes in an instant. It doesn't disappear overnight. No, it fades slowly, like a candle burning out, one little decision at a time, one small choice to take the easy road. And before you know it, the fire inside you starts to dim. You see, people don't lose their ambition in one big, dramatic event. Someone wakes up one morning and decides they no longer want to pursue their dreams. What really happens is much subtler. It's in the small moments, in those decisions to stay comfortable, to avoid the hard work, to delay the effort, that your ambition quietly slips away. We all have dreams, things we want to achieve, a vision of the life we want to live. That vision fuels us in the beginning. It gives us the drive to push forward, to work hard, to sacrifice in the present for the promise of something better down the road. But the problem comes when instead of continuing to push, we begin to give in to the small comforts life offers. It's easy to give in to comfort, isn't it? It's easy to hit the snooze button on the alarm clock. It's easy to skip the gym. It's easy to stay in the familiar, in the place that feels safe. But those are the moments where your ambition starts to fade. It's not in a single grand event, but in the cumulative effect of all those small, comfort-driven choices. At first, it seems harmless. Missing a workout one day isn't a big deal, right? Skipping a task because it feels too difficult, too uncomfortable. It won't make a huge difference in the grand scheme of things. But let me tell you something. Those small choices build up. They compound over time. What starts as one skipped workout becomes 2, then 3, then a week without exercising. The project you keep postponing, that becomes weeks, then months of procrastination. And soon you're left with a sense of regret, with a feeling that your dreams are drifting further and further away. It's not about making huge mistakes. It's about making tiny ones, day after day. The choice to avoid discomfort, to take the path of least resistance, can feel good in the moment. but it's dangerous. It's a trap, because what you don't realize is that every time you choose comfort over effort, you're reinforcing a habit, a mindset, a way of living that slowly chips away at your ambition. You begin to feel less motivated, less inspired. You start to lose that drive you once had. And when you don't feed your ambition with action, it eventually withers and fades. Here's the hard truth. Ambition is not a passive thing. It doesn't just exist because you wish for it. It requires daily nourishment. It needs action. It thrives on effort. Without consistent work and dedication, it dies a slow death, one small choice at a time. That's why so many people, despite having big dreams and great potential, end up settling for less. It's not that they lack ambition in the beginning. It's that they stopped feeding it. They let comfort take over, and comfort kills growth. Comfort keeps you stuck, keeps you in the same place. The longer you choose comfort over progress, the more your ambition fades into the background. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that success will come if you just wait long enough. But here's the thing. Success doesn't come by sitting back and hoping for the best. Success comes from making tough choices, from pushing through the hard times, from showing up even when you don't feel like it. It's about doing the things that challenge you, that make you uncomfortable. Because those are the moments that move you forward. When you choose comfort, you choose stagnation. You choose the easy path that leads to nowhere. But when you choose discomfort, when you choose growth, you take a step forward every single day. The greatest achievers are the ones who've learned to ignore the siren call of comfort. They've learned to push through the resistance. They've learned that the road to success is paved with discomfort, with struggle, and with effort. And that's what makes their success so powerful. It wasn't given to them on a silver platter. They earned it through relentless discipline, hard work, and a refusal to give in to comfort. Look, you can't let comfort define you. You can't let it be the thing that guides your decisions. Because if you do, you'll find yourself waking up one day, years down the road, wondering where your ambition went, wondering why you haven't achieved the things you once dreamed of, wondering why you feel stuck, like you've lost your spark. It's because you allowed comfort to take over. You allowed yourself to settle. You allowed your ambition to slowly die. So if you're serious about achieving something, about making your dreams a reality, you have to make a choice. You have to choose discomfort. You have to choose the hard path. It's not going to be easy, and it's not going to happen overnight. But the good news is that you can bring your ambition back. You can revive it, and you can reignite the fire inside of you. It starts with a decision to stop choosing comfort. It starts with a decision to take action, even when it feels hard. Every time you make the choice to step out of your comfort zone, you breathe new life into your ambition. Every time you push through the resistance, you move closer to the person you're meant to become. Success isn't something that happens by accident. It's something you create with every decision you make. The small choices matter more than you think. They shape who you are and where you're headed. So if you want to succeed, if you want to build a life you're proud of, stop letting comfort dictate your choices. Choose discomfort. Choose growth. Choose to show up, even when it's hard. Because that's how you keep your ambition alive. That's how you turn your dreams into reality. And that's how you build a life of purpose and fulfillment. Keep pushing, keep striving, and never let comfort take the reins. Number 9, you can't be ambitious and addicted to comfort at the same time. Success is not a coincidence. It's not something that just falls in your lap because you happen to be in the right place at the right time. No, success is the result of choices. It's about deciding what you want and taking consistent action to make it happen. But here's the thing. Ambition and comfort do not coexist. You cannot be truly ambitious and addicted to comfort at the same time. The very nature of ambition requires you to step outside your comfort zone, to do things that are hard, to push through fear and doubt. If you're constantly seeking comfort, you're actively working against your own success. Now, I'm sure you've heard this before, but let's break it down. Comfort feels good. It's easy to just settle in, to rest and relax, to not have to worry about pushing yourself too hard. It's tempting to hit the snooze button on your alarm clock. instead of getting up early to work on your goals. To take the easy route, to skip the hard tasks, to avoid the challenges. But the reality is, comfort doesn't lead to growth. It doesn't lead to success. It doesn't lead to the life you dream of. The pursuit of comfort leads to stagnation, and stagnation is the enemy of progress. You can't expect to have big goals, to achieve great things, and still cling to comfort. It's simply not how it works. The most successful people in the world didn't get there by sitting back and relaxing. They didn't achieve their dreams by choosing the easy path every time. No, they chose discomfort. They chose challenge. They chose to do the things that others were too afraid to do, to step out of the familiar and into the unknown. It was in those moments of discomfort that they grew, that they learned, that they became the people they needed to be in order to achieve the success they desired. You see, the more you choose comfort, the more you reinforce the idea that you don't need to push yourself. You tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow, or it's not that important. And before you know it, you've built a habit of avoidance, of procrastination. The longer you put off the hard work, the further your dreams slip out of reach. It's easy to rationalize why you shouldn't push yourself. I'm tired. I've been working hard enough already. It's okay to take a break. It requires sacrifice. It requires the willingness to do things that make you uncomfortable, things that challenge you, things that force you to grow. If you want to be successful, you have to be willing to embrace the discomfort that comes with growth. You have to be willing to do the things that scare you, to step into the unknown, to take risks. Success isn't found in the comfort zone. It's found outside of it, where the magic happens. But here's the catch. The longer you stay in your comfort zone, the harder it becomes to break. Comfort becomes addictive. You get used to it. You start to believe that you can't function without it, that you need it in order to be happy, to be at peace. And that's when it becomes dangerous. When comfort starts to feel like a necessity, it's hard to imagine life without it. You get so used to the easy way that you forget that success requires hard work, effort, and sacrifice. It requires you to do things that are uncomfortable, to face challenges head on, and to keep moving forward, even when it's hard. The truth is, comfort makes you weak. It weakens your resolve. It weakens your ability to push through adversity. It weakens your ambition. And before you know it, your ambition fades, and you're left with nothing but a pile of unfulfilled dreams and empty promises to yourself. If you're always seeking comfort, if you're always avoiding the difficult things, then you're never going to experience the growth you need to reach your potential. You're going to remain stuck, playing small, and never stepping into the greatness that's waiting for you. It doesn't matter how much ambition you have if you're not willing to put in the work, to sacrifice, to do what needs to be done. Success isn't just about having a dream. It's about the work that goes into making that dream a reality. And that work isn't always going to be fun. It's not always going to be easy. In fact, it's often going to be difficult, challenging, and downright uncomfortable. But that's what makes it worth it. That's what makes success so rewarding. It's the struggle, the discomfort, and the effort that you put in that makes the victory so sweet. You can't expect to build something great while you're sitting on the couch, binge watching TV shows, and avoiding the hard work. You can't expect to grow while you're sticking to what's comfortable, staying in your little bubble, and never stepping outside of it. To achieve your goals, you have to be willing to step outside that bubble, to face the discomfort, to make sacrifices, and to work harder than you've ever worked before. So, if you're serious about your ambitions, you have to ask yourself, am I willing to step out of my comfort zone? Am I willing to embrace the discomfort that comes with growth? Am I willing to put in the hard work, even when it's tough. Because if you're not willing to do that, then you're not really serious about your success. You can't be ambitious and addicted to comfort at the same time. You have to choose. You have to choose growth over comfort, success over stagnation, action over complacency. The choice is yours. But remember this, the more you choose comfort, the further you get from your dreams. And the more you choose discomfort, the closer you get to making them a reality. Number 10, the goal of life isn't to avoid struggle, it's to become stronger through it. Life doesn't always give us what we expect. It's unpredictable, it's full of ups and downs, wins and losses, moments of joy and moments of struggle. The thing is, so many people live their lives trying to avoid the struggles, trying to shield themselves from the hardships. They seek comfort and ease, believing that if they can just get rid of the struggle, life will be better. But here's the truth. The goal of life isn't to avoid struggle. It's to become stronger through it. Let's take a moment to think about that. If you go through life constantly trying to avoid every challenge, every difficult situation, you're essentially closing yourself off from the very things that would make you better. Imagine if you never worked out at the gym because lifting weights is too hard. Imagine if you never studied for that test because learning the material is too much work. Imagine if you never started that business because the risk of failure felt too overwhelming. If you kept avoiding the hard stuff, you'd stay the same. You wouldn't grow, you wouldn't get better, and you certainly wouldn't achieve anything significant. The truth is, the struggle is what makes us stronger. It's the resistance we face that helps build our muscles. Every challenge we encounter forces us to adapt, to learn, to think differently, to stretch beyond what we thought was possible. And each time we overcome something difficult, we grow. We build resilience, we build strength, we build character. But that doesn't mean struggle is easy. It's tough, it's uncomfortable. It can be exhausting, frustrating, and even heartbreaking. There will be moments when you'll want to quit, when everything inside of you tells you to stop, to give up, to take the easy route. But in those moments, you need to remember that struggle is the key to growth. If you want to become the person you were meant to be, you have to go through the fire. You have to face the tough situations head on and trust that they're shaping you into something stronger. Think about all the greats, whether in sports, business, or any field. They didn't get there by avoiding the challenges. They didn't sit back and hope the world would give them success on a silver platter. No, they worked for it. They struggled. They faced obstacles that seemed insurmountable, but they kept going. They knew that the only way to reach their potential was to embrace the struggle, to push through when things got tough. And that's exactly what made them who they are. It's easy to want to avoid hardship, especially when it feels like the world is against you. It's tempting to give up and go with the flow, to take the path of least resistance. But that's not the path that leads to greatness. That's not the path that leads to fulfillment. If you want to make something of your life, you've got to get comfortable with discomfort. You've got to learn how to rise above the struggle and use it to fuel your success. Life is not about avoiding difficulties, it's about overcoming them. It's about facing each challenge with determination, with grit, and with the belief that you can handle whatever comes your way. The obstacles you face today are the stepping stones to your success tomorrow. Each difficulty you overcome adds a layer to your strength. It prepares you for the next challenge and the next, until you're a force to be reckoned with. The thing about struggle is that it teaches you so much more than success ever will. When everything is going perfectly, when everything is easy, you don't learn the lessons that you need to grow. It's when things are hard that you discover what you're really made of. It's when things get tough that you find out what you're truly capable of. If you never face challenges, if you never deal with adversity, you'll never know the extent of your own potential. You'll never realize how much strength you have within you. And yes, there will be times when you feel like you can't go on. There will be times when the struggle seems too much to bear. But that's the moment when you need to dig deep. That's the moment when you need to remind yourself that the struggle is what is going to make you stronger. That's the moment when you have to push through, when you have to keep going, even though every part of you wants to quit. Because on the other side of that struggle, there's growth, there's strength, there's a better version of yourself waiting to emerge. The journey isn't easy, it never will be, but that's what makes it worth it. The harder you work, the tougher the struggle, the sweeter the reward. There's nothing more satisfying than looking back and knowing that you persevered through the hard times. There's nothing more fulfilling than knowing you didn't let life's challenges define you, but instead, you let them shape you into the person you've always wanted to become. Life isn't about avoiding the struggle. It's about learning how to face it with courage and strength. It's about using the tough times to build resilience, to become better, to push yourself beyond what you thought was possible. And when you come out on the other side, you won't just be stronger, you'll be unstoppable. So the next time life throws a challenge your way, don't back down, don't run away from it, embrace it. Know that it's a chance for you to grow, to learn, and to become the person you were always meant to be. The struggle isn't the enemy. It's your greatest ally in the pursuit of success. And when you stop running from it, when you stop fearing it, when you stop, you'll find that the struggle becomes the thing that pushes you to achieve more than you ever thought possible. Life doesn't get easier when you avoid the hard stuff. It gets easier when you face it head on and use it to build the life you want. The goal of life isn't to avoid struggle, it's to become stronger through it. When you understand that, everything changes. You'll start seeing challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to become the best version of yourself. And that, my friend, is where true success lies. If you've been living in comfort, it's time to change the game. Success doesn't come to those who sit back and wait for the perfect moment. It comes to those who push through the discomfort, who choose discipline over ease, and who relentlessly chase their goals, even when it's hard. So ask yourself, are you going to stay in the comfort zone, or are you ready to break free and build the life you truly deserve? Remember, no one ever achieved greatness by staying comfortable. Your ambition, your dreams, they're worth more than the easy road. It's time to take the first step, even if it feels challenging. Start small, but start now. The road to success is waiting, and it's yours for the taking. So get up, get moving, and never settle. You have what it takes. Go make it happen. Thanks for watching, and keep pushing forward. Your future is in your hands.